Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean, this is In The Mixer, and we're already up to episode 12. It's a very different look today because it's a very different vibe. Unemployed, yes, yesterday. Been a bit of a trash bag, making you guys watch me eat Doritos for about 25 seconds of a video. But today, things are going to turn around because we're going to get our first job. We're going to make our return to management. And while it's not necessarily at the level of Atletico Madrid, it is definitely an intriguing possibility as to what's going to happen. So let's not waste any time. Let's pretty much jump straight into it and go from there. Now, yesterday I did put up a Twitter poll after the first episode, or not the first episode, but after episode 11, once we'd been sacked from Atletico, once we'd gone through and looked for a couple of different jobs, asking everybody, because if you haven't watched that episode, you might want to go back and check it out, because there's going to be some spoilers that are going to come through now. We were offered our first job. It is an international position with the Uzbekistan Football Association. As you can see already up on the screen, just here, we have the opportunity to go and take control of the Uzbekistan national team, go through their Asian World Cup qualifying campaign, potentially get through the playoffs, potentially top that group and automatically get into our first World Cup in the Qatar World Cup in 2022. But I wanted your help. Should I have taken this job? Should I then go and hold out for like a club job? We've added in a couple of different divisions. We've changed some stuff here and there to try and figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Thank you to the 4 people that voted. It was a resounding 3 votes to 1 to take the international job. So we're going to take this Uzbekistan position. We're going to get rid of that particular portion now. There we go. I did it correctly. Wage and offer is €3,900 a week. I actually don't know what the Uzbekistan currency is, but we should probably update ourselves to that. Whatever. What do you know? It's not there. So screw it. We'll go Australian dollar, because why not? And we're going to accept the offer. It's a decent amount. If I kind of feel a little bit bad, because if the Australian job had to come up, I should have taken that. Why am I so tiny in this picture? Okay, that's fine. That's something else I'll deal with in future. The White Wolves, Uzbekistan. It's a good name. Scott Carter, our personal assistant. I don't know how, while I was unemployed, I was able to employ a personal assistant, but he's stuck with me pretty much the entire way through. I'd like to formally welcome you to the Uzbekistan setup. Fantastic, blah, blah, blah. Ahmedov is the current captain. We'll go through the playing squad in a little bit. Currently sitting 71st in the world rankings, ahead of football giants such as Honduras, and behind also football giants like Congo and our Asian rivals, Saudi Arabia. We've won a couple of Asian Games trophies, an under 16th Asian Championship, under 19 Championship, and under 23 Asian Nations Cup back in 2018. So there's a kind of decent group of young players that are sort of coming through in this last decade, but yet to really do anything for the senior side at either an Asian level or a World Cup level, which is what we're going to try and make an impact with today. Paxtakor is also the stadium name, 35,000 seater, built in 1900, just to make the maths nice and easy. And Paxtakor, I think, is also one of the names of the biggest club in the Uzbek League. Highest world ranking said there was 45th. We can hopefully beat that if we make the World Cup that's coming out. They've suggested 5-2-3. I don't think that's correct. I think they're just doing that because it's the most recent shape and formation I've used. We're going to go in and have a look at the squad before we pick a shape or formation or anything like that. And do you want to meet the media? No, I don't really, because I don't speak Uzbek. I don't know what you're supposed to say. And there we go, confirmed as the manager. It's a weird next step to take from Champions League football, but potentially we might be playing World Cup football in the next 12 months. So the minimum expectation is that the team reach the final stage of the AFC World Cup qualifiers, which is what we're already up to. Basically, the top 2 from each group will go through automatically into the World Cup spots. Then you'll also have the 2 third-place teams will play a playoff against each other, and then they will play a playoff against, I think it's either the 5th or 6th South American side to determine whether Asia or South America gets that 5th position in the World Cup. Our group looks pretty straightforward. China are decent, Iran are decent, Japan are very, very good. We're currently sitting on top ahead of them on 12 points. Having lost 1 game, Japan haven't lost yet. We do play pretty much all these teams, but we'll go through the schedule in a moment. In the other group, Australia, of course, undefeated, top of the group, which is to be expected. South Korea, Saudi Arabia, they're quite good as well. Iraq's actually a sneakily good team as well in Asian Cup qualifying. And they've said here they're not going to judge me on my team's performance in this competition that we're already in. So I don't know what they're actually judging me on. I guess if we get through to the World Cup, fantastic. I guess if we do well at the World Cup, we might have some different expectations set because of that. Effectively, what I want to do, and I'm just going to call this out early, is I want to play this through to the World Cup, have a good World Cup, and then resign immediately. And hopefully, we'll have added some other divisions in. We might actually be able to get back to top flight club football and do maybe 1 more season before we move over to our long-term save with Isle of Man. I forgot to mention as well, start of the episode, this is the first episode we've recorded in the full version of Football Manager since it came out, so super exciting in that respect. It came out overnight, I unfortunately had to go to work, and now, thankfully, I get to come home and check it out. Now, let's have a look at the squad. There's a couple of decent looking players. I don't have any staff, so I'll put them on in a moment, but the two that they highlighted are the two worth the most. Odil Ahmedov, who's the current captain, 33 years of age, playing in Shanghai in the Chinese Super League. He looks okay. He looks kind of like a deep-lying playmaker, maybe. Or I can't imagine him as an advanced forward because he can't really he can dribble a little bit, but he's not that sort of player. He might also be like a Messiah, maybe. But we'll see what he is shortly. The other one that they've highlighted is Shomorodov. Again, I'm going to butcher all these pronunciations. If I get any of them wrong, just chuck it in the comment section below. He looks okay. Solid, not spectacular, but okay to get past most of the teams in this division. Or most of the teams in our qualifying section. Is he good enough to do well at a World Cup? Probably not, but he's one of only a few players actually playing in a foreign division. He's playing in Russia. He's playing for Rostov. Hopefully he's actually getting games in that team. And at 25, it's a good time to get him because we'll be heading into his prime by the time we get to the next World Cup. Rashidov is the next highest rated player. Looks okay, looks solid across the board. Lots of 13s and 14s from his technical attributes. Playing for Qatar, the Qatar Stars League, which is a weird name for the competition, but he looks okay, looks solid, if not spectacular. They've got Abdujukula. I'm gonna have to drop him from the squad just because I can't pronounce it, but he looks okay, nothing special. Vitaly Denisov looks okay, playing for Angie Machakalaka, or it's Makashkala. Who knows? The one that Samuel Eto'o played for back in the day before they lost all their money. He looks way too old, so we'll probably get rid of him. And I won't go through every player because really I'm going to empty the squad out and then go and search again. But in reality, it looks okay. And I think that's probably the first step we're going to take. We're going to empty out the squad. We're going to go and look for pretty much every different player that we can find from Uzbekistan that we could potentially bring in. You can see there's a couple here. There's a German national here, Valdemir Anton, who looks very, very good if we can actually convince him to represent the nation. Yeah, he's not interested, and fair enough to him. Can't really argue with that, but we'll keep an eye on that one. There's a couple other decent looking players here. Krimets might be okay. He's wanted by some good teams. Kodakulov, he might be decent as well. He's wanted by some decent sides actually in Europe. So yeah, there's a few people around, a few people that we want to look at. So we're going to go through the squad. We're going to build out a tactic. I think the most important thing is that we bring you guys some games because we didn't have any in the last episode. So I'd like to get the two World Cup qualifiers in March, so about 2 months away, against Iran and Bahrain. So I'm going to do a couple of different things off screen. Nothing super interesting. We're just going to try and bring in some staff to close that portion out so that I don't have to worry about the youth teams. We're going to figure out a tactic and we're going to figure out basically what our squad makeup is going to be. If we can get a good 11 together, I'll be very, very happy. So magic of editing, we're going to jump forward to the game against Iran now. Alright, just like that, we are a fair way ahead. We're just on the day of our first match against Iran. I've done quite a bit. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I took the entire squad, I emptied it out. I went through and searched for any player that was even remotely of Uzbekistani nationality. The only real one that we could potentially bring across is that Valdemir guy from earlier, who, can we ask him again? I don't know how many times you can ask him. Still doesn't want to come. Fair enough. That's fine. He's playing for Red Bull Leipzig at the moment, or he's playing for Mönchengladbach on loan for Red Bull Leipzig, so he's got a Bundesliga career to worry about. We brought a couple of different players in that were a bit younger. A couple of the older guys that we looked at, Denisov from Anzi, the guy who's up front, whose name I couldn't pronounce, I've taken them out of the squad. Pretty much everyone you see here are people that aren't existing within the national side already. But we put together an okay lineup. You can see we've picked up some staff. There's some good 3.5 star, 3-star, 4-star players here. And we do have a nice even 22. We do have space for an extra goalkeeper, but the only other goalkeeper that's available in the game is injured, so we haven't bothered calling him up. And this is the lineup really that we're kind of looking at. Sanjar Kubatov, who plays for Al Khor in the Qatar Stars League, which a fair few of our players do actually play for, or play in. 31 years of age, only 3 caps to his name, a decent sweeper keeper, 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. He's pretty much playing as good as he's going to get, but he looks solid, if not spectacular. At right back, this guy looks okay. Zurshid Giosov, 2.5 star current ability, 3-star potential. I actually think he looks a little bit better than that. You can see from his highlighted attributes here, full back on attack, He's got some decent stats here. He's got 16 pace, 14 acceleration, which are both excellent. Good work rate, good teamwork, 18 bravery. That's pretty decent. Some of his technical attributes need work, but it's that part of the world. Like, technical attributes really outside of Japan and Korea in Asia aren't that good, and I include Australia in that conversation as well. Zokshimov will play as one of the central defenders. He looks solid. 3-star current player, 28 years old, looks alright. The guy next to him, Kobolov, I'm going to go with Kobolov. Again, I know I'm butchering these. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential. Currently playing at Union Berlin in the Bundesliga, which is great for him. Got good technical attributes from what we need from a central defender. Good physical attributes as well. Good 17 natural fitness, 17 leadership, 18 teamwork. Impressive as a young player, only 23 years of age, coming into a national side. We've got Komolov, who'll play as a left back. He looks solid, 3 stars, 3.5-star potential, 25 years old, playing at Pax the Core, so a domestic player. Solid, very, very solid. A lot of the central midfield, the fullback attributes that we'd be looking for. Crossing maybe needs a little bit of work, but his first touch is good, his dribbling is good, his corners are good. Again, 18 bravery. They make him very brave in Uzbekistan. Good positioning, good teamwork. He'll be okay. Armadov, who we did speak about, the current captain, probably the best player in the squad, 4.5-star potential, 4.5-star ability, 33 years old, playing in China, earning an insane amount of money a week. Well suited to being a deep line playmaker, so we have kind of worked that into his role and position. Next team, I've gone with a youngster. There was a guy that was better, but this guy's 2.5-star potential, 5-star ability. He's already got 1 cap to his name, only 18 years old, playing at Bunyadkor in the Uzbekistan Super League. I think I'd like to try and bring him on a bit. Good first touch, good passing. Tackling and technique need a little bit of work, but he's not actually fulfilling that in his role anyway. Work rate and teamwork are both excellent. If we can get them up to like 17, 18 and start making good on this 5-star potential, he's going to be fantastic. I'm just going to call him Jallo because I can't pronounce his name. Rashidov we did look at earlier. Looks like a good right-wing option. He'll be excellent as far as creativity goes for us. Azam Aliyev will play at the 10. Looks solid, 3-star current ability, 3-star potential. 29 years old, got a couple of caps to his name. Playing at Sirkson in the Super League as well. Really, he's just going to play as a 10. Join forward the attacks when he can. He's got good work rate, good teamwork, decent fitness levels. He'll just be pretty much a runner. Gofarov will play on the left wing. The left wing was the position I struggled with the most. He's the only real player available as a natural left-sided player. He's as an inverted winger out there. He's right-footed naturally, but he can play as a natural player on that support role, and that's what we've gone with. A lot of 10s, a lot of 11s, so not setting the world on fire, but you can't have a great player at every position. We just don't have the depth in Uzbekistan. And then Shomarudov, who we did speak about earlier, currently playing in Russia. He will play up front as a pressing forward on attack. And that's pretty much how I built out our tactic as well. I've tried to put the best players available in their positions, and effectively all I've done is put them with their favoured role. So we're playing a pretty basic 4-2-3-1. It's pretty much the same in possession, in transit, and out of possession instructions that we had at Atletico Madrid. Because I do have faith in that system. We did well with it. We got a whole bunch of points, we got a whole bunch of wins, a whole lot of goals, but we just didn't win the league, and that was what eventually hurt us. So everyone's pretty much playing exactly where they're most natural. It's a little bit off balance. We could maybe use one more defend instruction somewhere, but, it's going to be okay. Our right side is very attacking. Our left side is very conservative. Through the middle is pretty straightforward and pretty well balanced. And we've also set ourselves up with a cautious mentality and an attacking mentality so that we're always training a few different things. With the cautious mentality, it's the same instructions. I just realized it says positive. So we'll fix that up. And then the other portion is attacking, and we've dropped a couple of the in possession instructions just to free everybody up creatively. So ideally, we're going to go positive as a default. When we do some of our away games against bigger teams in the division, Iran actually might be a good example of that. Japan will definitely be a good example of that. We'll probably use that cautious mentality and then maybe switch it up depending on how the game's going. But there's not a tremendous amount of versatility. There's not a tremendous amount of depth in terms of the squad. We're just going to try and put our best team out as frequently as we can and see how we go from there. That's pretty much all there is to it. Not super complicated. Now let's get stuck into some football. All right, just like that. I don't know why these are coming up such weird colours. They've fixed the goalkeepers. They were white previously, which was a nightmare. They're now in green, so you can read their names. They're playing a 4-3-3, which I think suits us quite well. They've got debutant in Kanzadeh at central defence. They've got Jahanbakhsh. Again, pronunciation is going to be a massive battle for this one. Currently playing at Brighton. He's probably the highest divisional player that they've got playing. They've got Asmun up top, who's playing at Zenit St. Petersburg. So there's definitely a step up in the quality that they have available to them. But Iran are a very good side. I think people forget, if you're outside of the Asian region, how good they actually are as a football team. They consistently qualify for World Cups and things like that. They always get beaten at World Cups, but they qualify, and that makes them, really amongst the top 30, 40 sides in the world. Passionately, we're going to say, go out there and give these fans their money's worth, and assertively, I'm just going to tell the defence, I have faith in you. Not at all, really. Special day, can't wait to get started. I enjoy these matches a lot, and at the end of the day, I believe we're better than they are, and we can win this match. Okay, they just keep asking me questions, so we just want to skip past that as quickly as we can. And our new job in Uzbekistan, in international management, has kicked off for the first time. There's an immediate highlight. I don't know in the full version of the game if they've fixed that thing where it didn't show you a kickoff highlight if there wasn't a highlight. Rashidov bursts into the box. They've hacked it away. Armadov has the ball now. Forward to Giasov. How are we going to start here? We're on the front foot early. It's a ball across towards Aliyev, and he's gotten the first goal inside 37 seconds. So it's a phenomenal start to the series. Not to the series, it's the same series. It's still our beta save, technically. But a phenomenal start to life in Asia and in international management. It's good overlapping on here from Giasov. We did say our right-hand side was very attacking. Aliyev heads the first one straight at the goalkeeper, which is disappointing, but thankfully he's on his toes. Gets there for the second one and then pulls out the bow and arrow and just starts firing it off into the crowd. Another highlight here. It's going to start from the goal kick. Ball forward to Jahan Baksh, who we did highlight as being the danger player. Goes all the way back to this centre-back. It's 2v1 here that we're not really dealing with on the right-hand side, though Giasov's done very well to win the ball back. Release the ball. He doesn't. Instead, he goes on a run in himself, bursting forward into space. Squares it to Aliyev now. We've lost the ball to Cheshmi. Now Jahan Bash. Crossfield switch towards Azmoun. It's a combination between arguably their two best players, and thankfully, he worked his way around the keeper, but then put it into the side netting. So we got away with one there. There's still definitely a danger on that counter-attack. Throw in now for Iran. Back to the left back, Hashsafi. Nearly recover the ball, but instead it's pinballs around. It's a strike from distance, hits the base of the post, and it goes out for a goal kick. So they're still definitely turning the screws a little bit. Cheshmi goes all the way back to their goalie, comes out of the box. Armadov wins a good header. Hosseini, back to the goalkeeper. Long ball forward. Azmoun flicks it on, but Armadov recovers. Kobolov now to Komilov. Back to Kobolov. Kuvatov with a long ball forward from the goal kick. Or not goal kick, but back to the goalkeeper. We've got to get used to all these names. And I keep butchering the pronunciations, which probably isn't helping. Armadov now. Good overlapping run from Giasov. Can he get a decent ball into the box? Deep one towards Goffarov. It's a great strike, and we are 2-0 up on his favoured right foot, which is why he's playing as that inverted winger on the other side. It's an excellent run. Giasov now has 2 assists in the game, and he's just pulling off some lung-busting runs early. Just cuts it back a little bit, puts it in space just behind the defence. It's a good first-time finish back across the goalkeeper. And we go 2-0 up and extend our lead at the top of our qualification group. We go to 3 points. Japan are currently drawing with China. Iraq are currently beating Oman, we're beating Iran. Iraq's in the other group. UAE's beating Bahrain. Makes a lot of sense. UAE's not terrible. Another highlight here. 35 minutes gone. It's a long ball forward from the goal kick. Ghafouri now with the ball for Iran. Khanzadeh. Crossfield switch should be tidied up by Giasov, who's having an excellent game. Tries to skip a ball in behind. It was never really on. Hosseini has recovered the ball for Iran. Ball over the top to Azmoun. Bursts into the box, gets his strike away, and Kuvatov does very well to push that one around the near post. I mentioned it a minute ago, but now Japan have gone 2-0 up against China, so they're going to be turning the screws on us pretty much all the way through this qualification campaign. Musselman, Giasov, good win back. Burst forward now. He's looking for a hat-trick of assists. And really, what he needs there is the forward in front of him, Rashidov, to kind of get in front of him a little bit and offer him a supporting pass. Armadov now with the ball from the throw-in. Crossfield switch towards Goffarov. Now to Giasov again. Ball into the corner, Rashidov. Oh, he's been taken down. Hasavi is being called over by the referee. It says he could be in trouble. Is he going to get a straight red, or is it just going to be a yellow card? Straight red card, so they're down to 10 men as well. We get to half time. We don't see an end highlight for the half, which is disappointing, but an excellent first half football. An excellent first half with the team. 2-0 up against Iran, who are a good team. 9 shots, 4 on target, 58% possession. They've had 5, 2, and 42%. Let's just go and tell them I'm very happy with the way things are going. And what we might also do is switch to our cautious mentality, just to try and defend a lead. I just want to see how it goes. We haven't done any friendlies or anything with the side yet, because we haven't had an opportunity. We will do them in time, but now we can kind of test a couple of different things out now that they're down to 10 men. Highlight is still going from kickoff. Got it now on the left wing. Mohammadi. Giasov does very well to win it back. He's definitely been the man of the match so far from what we've seen in the highlights. Played forward now to Rashidov. Steps inside. Finds Jallo, the youngster, the 18-year-old. Zoshimov out to Giasov. Got a 2v1 if we work this correctly on the left. Instead, back to Giasov again. Just working the ball around. Cross in towards Goffarov. Aliyev has gotten his second goal of the season. And they've given an assist to Goffarov. I'm pretty sure he shot the ball. It hit one of the defenders, and then Aliyev was the first man to the rebound and passed that one in from the top of the box. Good play again. Giasov is just proven to be an absolute beast on this right-hand side. At this level, don't go looking for him to pick him up for your Premier League side or anything like that. I don't think he's going to get to that stage in any point. But it's a good finish from Aliyev. And he's doing quite well in that number 10 role. Right, highlight here, it's with Musselman in the Iran midfield. He's playing from the base. Plays out left now to Mohammadi. There must be a position somewhere on the park where they're lacking a player at the moment. Mohammadi gets in behind, squares it up. We get it away. Jahan Bash with an excellent goal. We spoke about him in the build-up. He's their best player. And it just looks like it's a mix-up between the left back, Kobolov, I think his name was, and the goalkeeper, whose name I have completely forgotten. They clear it away. The keeper came out, and Jahan Bash from the top of the box chips him expertly. And we're still 3-1 up, but they've at least gotten some sort of window back into it. Right, now we're going to make a couple of subs. Sergeyev will come in up top for Shomodarov, who hasn't had the best game. Komolov, who was the left back that just made that error, will come off for Memenov. And they're both like-for-like replacements, so we don't have to change anything tactically. Throwing now to Aliyev. Cheshmi, long ball forward. Memenov, who's come off the bench, should tidy up. To Jallo, back to Memenov. Now Kobolov, the centre-back. Plays it forward to Armadov. Goffarov. Square ball to Jallo. Top of the box strike from distance from the young man. And on his second cap, I think it is, an absolute screamer from the top of the 18-yard box. His first ever goal for his country. This is going to be an excellent highlight from behind the goal. Goffarov does very well. Just squares it up to him. He takes a touch around one defender and then just absolutely leathers it. That is proper top bins. The goalkeeper's not doing anything about that. And we are 4-1 up in our first game in charge. Highlight here, balls with Armadov from the throw. Crossfield switch out to Memenov. We can work a TV1 if we pick the right pass here. Into Goffarov. Memenov to Jallo. Back to Armadov. He's given it away in a poor area. Jahan Bash is now playing pretty much as a number 10 in behind a single striker in Azmoun. And he's pulled it back. He's hit the bar, and thankfully we scrambled that one away. So they're pretty much just playing with their best two players, the guy from Zenit and the Brighton winger, as a front two. And Will causes some issues on the counter. We've gotten away with one there. Armadov now with the ball. Continued highlight. Jallo at the top of the box. He gets his second goal of the game, and it's another excellent strike from the edge of the area. And he's having a fantastic match. See the highlight here, just a simple throw in. It's headed away by the Iranian defence. Armadov just squares it up to him, and he just takes, he doesn't even take a touch. He just basically hits it first time at the edge of the area, right at the top of the D. And the keeper maybe could have done better, but maybe also didn't see it until late. 3 minutes to be added on. Are we going to see any final highlights? No, the game just ends again. Super frustrating that we're now in the full version of the game and it doesn't show you like that end highlight. It just doesn't make for good content, essentially. 19 shots, 9 on target, 60% of the ball. They had 8, 3 and 40%. An excellent win against one of our, really, what you'd think our automatic promotion place rivals. Passionately, let's say. A very nice victory, well done. And everybody has responded positively to that. Where were those sort of performances when we were at Atletico? Maybe it was just the shape I was playing was stupid, but a good 5-1 performance. Azim Aliyev gets the man of the match rating. I personally think it was the right back, whose name I've already forgotten. We'll do the press conference. Superb win for everyone involved. Excellent strikes. And Aliyev got the man of the match award. Goffarov, was he? No. They're talking about, for whatever reason, the Iranian player who scored their one pullback goal. We won 5-1. Talk about that. And we are on course for qualification for our first ever World Cup, which is crazy. Now, Magic Betting, the next game against Bahrain is in 3 days. I actually don't know if I'm going to bother bringing that one to you guys. The bigger match was the game against Iran. We've won at 5-1 now. We should get past Bahrain. They're bottom of the division. And we have gone through a lot. We've gone through the tactic. We've gone through the new job. We went through the Twitter poll. We went through all that stuff. And there is more content that we want to try and bring you this week to hopefully eventually get through to the World Cup itself. So I think what we might do is we might play the games against Bahrain and China off screen. And we might come back in tomorrow's episode and do the games against UAE and Japan to round out our World Cup qualifying campaign. And then maybe fingers and toes crossed. I don't know how long it will take, but there will also be a portion that should actually be like the World Cup draw and figuring out what group we're in. We might try and do that in that episode as well. So we've covered a tremendous amount. Thank you to everyone that's continuing to support the channel. Thanks to everyone that's continued to support this series, even though we're no longer at a big club, we're no longer at Atletico. We may get a random influx of Uzbekistani fans in the comment section. Just be nice to them. Let's keep it diplomatic. Let's keep it professional. Who knows? They might be worth millions and want me to actually go there and manage their team. And if I do that, you can come and be my scout or my assistant manager or something like that. But either way, it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back managing again. That's exactly the sort of content that I want to be producing. So as always, thank you so much for watching. That's the part that I appreciate the most. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future videos as they're released, as we work towards the release of our FC Isle of Man series. I'm going to have some more live streams and stuff on Twitch over the next few weeks as well, so please go and check that content out once it's available. But as always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mix-up.